So I have two tools that I call kind of tools of convenience or tools of luxury. So if you saw my video on the bandsaw, on whether or not you need a bandsaw, that is one of the tools. The second tools is a jointer, a benchtop or a floor jointer. So if you're asking yourself if you need one, let's cover that in this video to determine whether or not you really do. So with that said, let's get dirty. All right, so the first question we have to ask is, what is a jointer? Now, the best way for me to describe it is by using this planer here, this hand planer. So if I turn this planer upside down, this hand planer, basically you can see what a jointer is, because this is in essence exactly what a jointer will do. So I can set my depth in the same on a jointer of how much wood I want to plane off, and I take my wood and I run it on the flat surface and it will plane off that much wood, giving me a nice square flush surface that I can use this piece of wood and another piece of wood that I've run through a jointer, and I can joint them together. I can put them together and they're like almost perfect. Okay, so with that said, you can see the convenience of them if you're making something like a table or some sort of desktop that you need to butt those pieces of wood together. You're going to glue it and butt them together, and they have to be pretty much spot on. So as long as one side of my wood is square, I can run it through a jointer and it's just like running it through a planer. Okay, it is going to just perfectly plane that. Now jointers come in a lot of different sizes, so you can get a small benchtop model to do, you know, just your smaller pieces of wood, or you can get them grand. You can get them really big to do very large size pieces of wood. So you can definitely see where they're convenient when it comes to planing a piece of wood, and then you're going to glue it together to another piece of wood, and you want that joint just perfect. So they're great for that. So now one of the big downfalls in them is they take a lot of space. Now, if you're looking at one and you're looking at a small benchtop model, you're probably thinking, well, this guy's crazy and they're only going to take that much space. But think about the size of the wood you're going to be running through it. Okay, that's why your table saw is pretty much the center of your workshop, is because I'm not just cutting little 1 foot pieces. If I'm making a table, I need to cut 5 feet. Okay, so I need 5 feet here and I need 5 feet here to run that through. So that's something to consider space wise. Now, and the other con in them is that they are pretty expensive. So if you think about, now you've got another tool that you've got to buy blades for. So the pros are that they're definitely convenient, especially when it comes to planing a piece of wood that you're going to butt together to another piece. You're going to have that nice surface that just goes together like peanut butter and jelly. Okay, now you weigh that against the cons is, again, you got to give up a lot of space for them and they're expensive. So would I have one if I had a larger shop and I had the space for it? No, actually I wouldn't. I have made so many tabletops just using my table saw and my rip fence. Check out my tabletop video and I'll show you how I do it. It's so easy, and I don't have the added expense. I don't have to give up the space for it. So am I telling you not to get one if you have the space for it? Absolutely not. You know, if you have the money for it and you have the space for it, then go ahead and get one. But again, what you can do with a jointer and the cost, I promise you, you can do on your table saw. So just, you know, take that to heart if you're looking at purchasing one. Again, I'm not stopping you from purchasing, but I'm just telling you there's an option. You probably, if you're a woodworker, you probably already have it in your shop, and it's so easy to do. It'd kind of be one of those things that if I asked my wife if I could buy one and she saw the price, she'd probably ask me, what do they do? And I would explain, and I'd say, you know, they're great for making tabletops. And that would pretty much lose the sale, because she'd be like, well, you make beautiful tabletops and you don't have one. I don't get it. And I'd be like, well, all the other guys have one. Why can't I? So it'd be a scenario if I asked my wife if I could have one, and she saw the price of it, and she would ask me, well, you know, why do you need it? And I would explain to her what they do, and I'd say, you know, they're great for making tabletops and jointing two pieces of wood together. And she would say, but you've made hundreds of tabletops. You make beautiful tabletops. Why? I don't get it. And I'd be like, well, it'd be cool in my shop and the other guys have one. Needless to say, I would lose the sale, because I absolutely don't need one. So to be honest, I really don't have a recommendation for you on, you know, which one you should look at. I've never had one. I've never owned one. So I have really no idea. I'm not sure. And just so you know, I'm not sponsored, okay? But you know, check out the tool line Wen, W-E-N. See if they have one. I don't know if they do or not. I actually have a few Wen products that I bought. Regardless of if they have one and if that's what you want to use, that's fine. Regardless of whatever one you buy, make sure when you put it in the cart and it comes up and it says, you know, would you like to add an extra year warranty to this purchase? Yes, definitely. You know, post-COVID, I'm reading a lot of comments about motors burning out before their time. So definitely get yourself that added piece of protection. I hope this video has helped you. You know, if it has, please like, subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified of new episodes as they become available. If you're new to the woodworking hobby, check out my Woodworking for Beginners video series, 11-part series, step-by-step instructions, gives you all the basics of woodworking. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section, and I will get to them as soon as I can. If you'd like to support my channel, I'll put a link in the description. Another big help is feel free to share me on your social media sites. That definitely helps my cause. So until next time, keep it safe.